These upcoming 10 mods will make you want to play Rome 2 again, and you can use the first 5 mods combined for the best possible experience. The first one I really wish I discovered earlier, and that is the campaign camera mod. This allows you to zoom in very closely, but more importantly, it allows you to zoom out a ton. You have a great view of the whole campaign map, which will give it a more impressive look, which is even more important later on in your game when you have to hover over from one side to the other, and that can take you some time. And here you see the difference between vanilla and modded. It's really a massive difference, and this is such a game changer. The next mod, you can basically call it Vanilla Plus, and it's called the Radius Total War mod Anniversary Edition. It's a comprehensive gameplay overhaul, which makes the game more balanced, streamlined and expanded, with the core features being extended unit rosters for all factions, and that is a really big one. It allows you to use way more different units with all different strengths and weaknesses, and this really tempts you to play all factions. There will be a stronger AI logic for both the campaign and on the battlefield, so that's nice if you want to have a little bit more realistic battles and campaign tactics. The Radius mod also tweaked the income, population growth and public order for a little bit more pacing, and it's compatible with many submods. When I discovered this mod, it made me play 2 more campaigns. It really feels like you're playing a whole new game, and this is a massive recommendation. The next mod is actually a free pack, and they're called Orbis Aquarum, Orbis Terrarum and HD textures. So these will change the visual look of your campaign. Your campaign will become way more aesthetic enhanced. It adds realistic water textures, waves and lighting. It also improves the campaign map terrain, the forest, even the snow and coastlines. And the HD textures will really improve the cities in the campaign map, especially with the zoomed in camera. You can really see how much better it looks. So these 3 are really a must have. The next mod is called AAA Generals. It focuses on realistic generals with realistic aging, appearance and climate adaptations. So for example, generals will also adapt visually based on the region and the climate they're in. So in the winter they will have warmer gear, and in the desert they will also have different armor. It also adds authentic hairstyles, armor, even scars and facial expressions, which really brings these generals to life. On the screen you will now see some different looks that the generals can have, and this really brings you closer to them, and this mod can also be used with the Radius mod. The next mod will only improve one thing, but that one thing can bring you massive nostalgia, and that is the Rome 1 soundtrack mod. Just listen to the classic OG banger soundtrack, and you can use this mod with all the other mods. So I definitely recommend this one, you will love it. History fans will probably love this next mod, and it's called Alexander the Great Campaign Hellenic Edition, focused on Alexander his conquest. What it does, it adds a new campaign map covering Greece to the edges of India. You can play as Alexander or as other Hellenistic powers, with custom mechanics and events. You will have new units, new tech trees and new objectives specific to Macedonian strategy and his legacy. And that often includes fame or victory progression, historical rivals just like Darius III, and let's not forget the Persians. And it's very popular because it's a shorter but more intense campaign compared to the Grand Campaign, and it's great for people that want to emerge with Alexander's conquest. The next mod is one of the newest mods of this list, and it's called Tiny VFX. What does it do? Well, it improves the looks of the battles dramatically. It is minimalistic, but it has a high impact. One of the best features is that arrows will stick forever, as you can see in this picture. That looks absolutely amazing. After 12 years we finally made this happen, which is creating a realistic and messy battlefield chaos. The projectile trails also change. There will be now more visible trails on flaming arrows, siege missiles and naval shots that will add tactical clarity and a dramatic flair. This mod has also one of the best blood visuals. It adds intense 2K blood, and you will be able to see that during the animations, but also on the ground and on the dead bodies. It also revamped fire, smoke, rain, snow and clouds, which is especially notable in the winter. A battle in the snow will now look cold, brutal and unforgiving. Infantry clashes kick up dust, cavalry charges sends chunks of earth flying, and all this stuff will breathe life into epic battles. The next mod is a must-have if you want more realistic battles and if you want the battles to be more challenging, and it's called Anu, the new battle and AI final version. It's an ambitious mod that radically changes combat and AI in Total War Rome 2. So what it basically does is, it overhauls ground combat and unit physics, including weight and pushing mechanics. And it introduces 3 brand new combat modes. The first one is shoot combat, where you use shoot wall, shoot screen and wedge in a mini rock paper scissors system. The second thing is morale is affected by fire and blood. So that means units will lose morale to nearby fires and spilled blood, which is a pretty cool mechanic if you ask me. And furthermore, for the AI enchantments, the AI has now a new script where it learns from each encounter. So repeat strategies won't work if a general survives, so it forces adaptation, which is another very interesting mechanic. Furthermore, each culture behaves differently. The Celts, Iberians and Germans, they favor breaking into disorder and skirmish melee. The Romans adopt defensive formations and wedges, and the Greeks emulate tactics from the Peloponnesian Wars. Furthermore, it's very important to put this mod at the top of your list, and it's compatible for mods that do not alter stats, formations or abilities. So this one is super interesting to try out. The next mod is another one that Total War Rome 1 enjoyers will absolutely love, and it's called Familia Romanae, the Roman houses. It splits the Roman Republic into Julii, Brutii, Scipii and SPQR. Those families come from Rome 1. It also adds unique generals, missions and building styles for each family. Furthermore, it enhanced internal politics and rivalry mechanics, and this mod is just really good for political immersion, or if you just want the classic Rome 1 nostalgia. Combining this with the Rome 1 soundtrack would be insane. And last but not least, you obviously got the full package, and that is DEI, Devided at Impera. It will add historical realism and more depth into the game. The core features are a deep rework of unit stats, unit rosters, units morale and the battle pace. There will be new and expanded faction traits, reformed systems and new supply mechanics. DEI will also have rebalanced buildings, better economy and technologies with historical accuracy. Furthermore, it got a custom UI, new government systems and most importantly new population mechanics. That one is really a massive one. That doesn't allow you to just infinitely recruit units. You will have to now think about your population, so you can't just throw away your armies just like that. That is one of my favorite features, but I would suggest if you're newer to the game, leave Devided at Impera for the end to get the cherry on top of the cake, and first experience the more vanilla game with maybe the mod Radius, and when you afterwards use Devided at Impera, you can at least see and feel the difference and improvements. This mod is universally regarded as the best and most realistic in the game, so enjoy the mods and make sure to like and subscribe.